Hello, beautiful ones. Welcome back to my channel. I hope that your month of August is off to a beautiful start. I hope that you are excited about what you've decided to focus on this month in your own leveling up journey and that you are ready to go. If you're new here, my name is Leisha and I've been documenting my personal level up journey since 2020. I've been working on going from broke beach bum to feminine, elegant, and affluent woman. I typically upload a video every Sunday, so please subscribe if you'd like to join me. I hope that by uploading these videos, I'm holding myself accountable and I am also able to look back and see how far I've come in my transformation. But also I have enjoyed the connections that I have made with so many wonderful ladies over the past couple of years, and I hope that my videos and my journey encourages you along in yours. Today, I am coming back to the topic of finances and money, and that is because I realized I have not uploaded anything about where I am with that aspect of leveling up this whole year since having my daughter. So things have not completely changed, but they are different just due to having a child now. And so I wanted to share a few things, especially around the topic of creating a conscious spending plan, because something that I have seen a lot of questions about and that I actually really do enjoy having conversations about is this topic of how do you level up? Obviously, you need to have some financial abilities there, but how do you level up and when you don't have money, when you need to improve your finances and you don't want to go broke leveling up? I would never want that. And so unfortunately, I see in the leveling up community, we have a lot of focus around the outward appearance, the networking, the etiquette, but what is elegance and looking feminine, being feminine, living in that space and creating that lifestyle if you don't have the assets and the wealth to sort of back that up? I see a lot of content around how to look wealthy, how to be, perceived a certain way. And I think some of that is important. You do want to care about that. However, that to me is kind of pointless in my journey, at least. I really value having a legacy and being able to create generational wealth now, especially even more that I have a daughter. So I'm going to be talking about sort of how I navigate that leveling up and working on financial goals. And the main key to all of this is my husband and I have created a conscious spending plan. And so if you are new here, you may not know that I pretty much started my personal finance journey for leveling up based around this book, I Will Teach You to Be Rich by Ramit Sethi. This is in the category of personal finance, but it's ultimately a 6-week program, and he claims it works. I think that it does work. It certainly helped me a lot in my journey. And while I can't dive into all of the full details of this book, I do want you to read it, and I don't want to take away from the author. By the way, subscribe to his email list. It is great. I read most of his emails that he sends. They have so much good content for you, but he has this concept of a conscious spending plan. And so that's what I want to talk to you about today. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, so what is a conscious spending plan? Basically, I'll give it to you in the form of a scenario before I read a little excerpt from his chapter on creating a conscious spending plan. You may look at people who spend the $5 on a latte every day and say, gosh, you could save a lot of money by not purchasing that $5 latte every day. And there are financial gurus out there that I've heard from who will tell you to cut out the things that are just kind of ridiculous in their mind, right? But what if that $5 latte is really just what helps me to kickstart my day? It helps me to look forward to going into the office and working and doing my best. It fuels me as a mama who is also working while caring for her baby. And I really just would feel so much lack and miss out on that $5 latte every day. That's kind of what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the fact that if that $5 latte is something that is important to you, you don't have to give up that $5 latte to get ahead with your wealth building plans, right? And so that's ultimately the way that conscious spending sort of goes. And so this is in chapter 4 of this book. There's so much good in this chapter alone. I think it would be worth reading this book just for this chapter. So I'm going to read you a quick little excerpt from this book that I think is a good lead into why you want to create a conscious spending plan. Create a budget is the sort of worthless advice that personal finance pundits feel good prescribing. Yet when real people read about making a budget, their eyes glaze over. And that is so true. I've looked back over some of my videos here and realized that the money topics that I've shared around, they're not my most popular videos and not the area of leveling up that I think most women are interested in. But I think even as women, if you have a provider, you should still be conscientious about creating a spending plan and investing and, helping to build your wealth, okay? Who wants to track their spending? The few people who actually try it find their budgets completely fail after 2 days because tracking every penny is overwhelming. And I think that's so true. I think that it can be overwhelming, but for us, it's really not as much as it was before, okay? All right, so let me skip down to this last paragraph here in the introduction. Because we know that budgets don't work, I'm going to show you a better way that's worked for tens of thousands of my readers. Forget budgeting. Instead, let's create a conscious spending plan. What if you could make sure you were saving and investing enough money each month and then use the rest of your money guilt-free for whatever you want? Well, you can with some work. The only catch is that you have to plan where you want your money to go ahead of time, even if it's on the back of a napkin. Would it be worth taking a couple of hours to get set up so you can spend on the things you love? It will automate your savings and investing and make your spending decisions crystal clear. Okay, so that is what sort of hooked me on this conscious spending plan. And for leveling up, I think that you want to, of course, spend on the things that make the most sense for you and maybe not spend on things that don't make sense. For example, for me right now, I really value learning, skilling up, and we're building streams of income. And so you'll see I will repeat a lot of outfits in my videos because early on in my journey, and I buy a few things here and there, but I decided to invest in some quality secondhand pieces. And that's how I sort of managed and navigated the style aspect of leveling up. Do I have the most perfect, elegant, and feminine style? No, but I'm working on it, and I will be able to get to a point financially where it will make sense for me to go and to maybe put a little bit more spending into that category so that I can have a bit more fun with it. And so that's my example personally. It was very important to me early on. I also wanted to invest a lot in my skin. And I knew right from the get-go for me, in the way that I went through Secrets of the Elite Woman, she talks about this. I knew for me that I was going to need to work on my skin. I needed to invest a little bit in that. And so that was another example of where I took some of my additional income and I invested in Curology. I went and got some facials. I had microblading done. And even to this day, although it's not perfect and I don't get the most high-end treatments done anymore, especially now that I'm still breastfeeding, I think that it went a long way. I was very conscious about what I spent on and what decisions I made in the beginning to get me to this point today, so that I could skill up in my career, maximize our income potential, and also make sure that we were investing and putting money into assets that would grow our wealth over time. Okay. And so that is why I want to explain to you the power of a conscious spending plan and want you to pick up this book and read it. It has just made so much of a difference for us. And there are other categories in this book that, maybe I will create a little series around. He's got a chapter in here on investing isn't only for rich people. And gosh, I used to think that. I used to believe that. And if I continued along in that thought pattern, I don't think that I would be here anywhere near where I am today, especially in, the wealth and the net worth category. So let me know in the comments down below, where are you with your spending plan? Do you still use a budget? How well do you stick to that budget? And what are some other questions you have about sort of how you allot your money for your level up journey? Because for many of us, it's going to look a little bit different as far as like where we need to put our money first and where to start from. Okay. And so I hope that you will join me over on Instagram for more of these types of conversations, typically every Wednesday. I want to share a little bit more, but I'm trying to keep this video a little bit shorter for now. So conscious spending plans, think about that. Decide, maybe when you can set aside some time to work on creating one. I also will leave a link in the description below to the spreadsheet that my husband and I use to sort of track and plan for our spending every month, and how that is used. If you'd like to download it, I promise you I'm not marketing anything. I may create a little email newsletter at some point, but I would love to have you grab that. It is a big tool that we use and we look at every month before we get started with our spending. So I am going to end this video there. I hope that you have a wonderful rest of the week. I will see you next time. Bye.